Hello friends, in this video we will look at how the file permissions are managed in Linux. So let us begin with the video. For managing the properties of the file or the file permissions, there are three commands: change mode, change owner and umask. Change mode is used for modifying the read, write and execute permissions in Linux. Change owner is used for changing the owner of a file in Linux, and umask is used for modifying the default permissions of a file. So without wasting any time, let us look at the practical aspects of all the three commands. So here we are using a Ubuntu in a virtual box, and let me show you the contents of the current working directory, and we will work in the directory named Himani. And when we will ls this directory, there are no contents in this directory right now. Now if we look at the umask is the default permission. It is a mask, that means whatever permission you will write here, that will not be given to the user. So if umask is 2, then the permission with the number 2 will not be given to the user. So by default, the number 2 stands for the write permission to the user. Number 4 is for the read permission, number 2 is for the write permission, and 1 is for the execute permission. So if you have a umask of 002, then for directories you are not giving the write permission, and in case of files you are not giving the write and the execute permissions, because for the directories the default value that we use is 777. That is, we are giving all the read, write and execute permissions for the directory minus the umask, and in case of files we do not give the execute permission. That is the extra care that is taken in a Linux system, and therefore we give only 666 to all the users in the Linux system, and therefore the umask will be subtracted from 666 in case of files, and in case of directories it is 777. So by default we see that the umask is 2. So as we can set the umask using the same command, I am setting into 022. So as we can see here, we are setting the umask to 022, which means we are not giving the write permission to the group members and others. So as we can see here in this PPT, we have users, groups, others and all members for a particular file. User is the owner of the file, group is the group members of the file, others are all other users, and all means all three of them. And we have read, write and execute permissions. Read has a code of 4, write has a code of 2 and execute has a code of 1. For directory, default permissions are 777, and for file it is 666. And whatever is the value of the umask, that will be subtracted from these values. So as we can see here, we have set the umask to 022. So let us make a directory. Let me make a directory called ABC. And now let us do a long listing on this directory. So we can see here that we have given the read, write, execute permission. There are three sets of RWX here. The first RWX belongs to the user, the second RWX belongs to the group, and the third RWX belongs to the all other users in the system. So we can see here we have a umask of 022, so we have subtracted it from 777. So the user is given all the three permissions, the group members are given read and execute permission except the write permission, and same is with the all other users in the system. So let me change the umask to something else. Let me set the umask to 0, 4, 2 and 1. Okay, so let us read the umask once. So umask is 421. Now let me make a directory and ABC2, and now let us do ls minus l on this. So we can see here we have subtracted 4 from the 7. So the read permission is not given, only the write and the execute permission is given. Then here the write permission is missing, and here the execute permission is missing, because we have subtracted 4, 2 and 1 from the set of permissions that we have. Now we have to understand what is the meaning of the write permission, execute permission, and the read permission with respect to the directory. With respect to the directory, if you do not give the read permission, in that case you cannot perform the ls command on that directory. If you do not give the write permission, you cannot create subdirectories, and if you do not give the execute permission, in that case you cannot perform the change directory command on that particular directory. Similar is the case with the files. As we can see here, let us create some files. So if I create a file, file1 in the same directory, and now I ls that file, list that file, long list that file. So we can see here we have subtracted 4, 2 and 1. So we can see here the read permission is missing from the user, execute is not given by default. Then for the second set, 2 was subtracted, so write is not given, execute is not there by default. And in the third one, read write is there, but execute is not there because our umask was 0, 4, 2, 1. So whatever value of umask you will set, that particular permission will not be given to the user. I hope this video is useful to you for the understanding of the change mode command. Similarly, umask is clear to you. And now we have the change owner command. Change owner command is used to change the ownership of a file. If you see here,